Hey everyone, my name is the Theme Park Evangelist. Well, it's been 4 weeks since my last, um, whatever you call it, Theme Park Evangelist, or History of the Theme Park Evangelist intro series, or whatever you want to call it. History of the Theme Park Evangelist YouTube series is what I'm really trying to say, was published last. Over the past 4 weeks, I have, decided to go a different direction, and I've been doing all kinds of different vlogs. And also within the past 4 weeks, I have made some rearranges to my schedule. I work at Chick-fil-A at CVG Airport, and because I work for Chick-fil-A, I get every single Sunday off. And trust me, when Saturday comes, Sunday seems so far away, even though I know it's literally the very next day. Because I've been literally getting up by 4 a.m. for 5 days straight, and I'm just like, I'm tired. And I don't always get enough sleep at night, especially for the amount of work I have to do on a daily basis. And considering Fridays and Saturdays, I often put anywhere from 10 to 12 hours in just one day. It's tiring. If not, tiring is only honestly an understatement. But you know what? It's for the team, and that's why I'm willing to do it. So, anyway, before I get into today's topic, which is actually going to be called Becoming the Theme Park Evangelist, which is video number 3, but you're probably going to see on my playlist video 2. And the reason for that is because I accidentally deleted video 2. And once a video has been deleted from YouTube, unless I just go ahead and recreate it, there is no bringing it back. But I just want to catch you guys up really quick with video 2. So video 2 was becoming the Theme Park Evangelist. So what I more or less talked about in that vlog, so you guys don't have to sit through another 30-minute vlog again, I more or less talked about how I got out of high school and I started going into college, and it was around that time that I was watching this YouTuber called the Tim Tracker, and I was so fascinated, so inspired by his vlogs that I started going to Universal and Disney and whatnot every single week on a regular basis. I was constantly watching for him. He is the reason why I became a YouTuber in the first place. And I've actually met the guy, by the way, for those of you who do not know. But anyway, after doing that for quite some time, I finally decided in late 2016 to actually become a YouTuber, and that's actually what today's vlog is going to be about. And this is honestly my favorite one I've been looking forward to doing. So anyway, that was the shortened version. You don't want to hear me do the 30-minute version again, trust me. So, a couple of quick announcements. First of all, TJ is currently at Magic Kingdom right now as I am vlogging, and he is actually at a cast member preview for Tiana's Bayou Adventure. You guys might recognize him better if I mentioned his YouTube channel name, Country Music Lover of Polk County, or The Country Music Lover of Polk County. Last Monday, I had the privilege of signing into his YouTube channel, and I spent 2 hours updating it and making it look better, and now he's got over 70 subscribers, so I would say I definitely did him a solid on that one. But, yes, be looking for his Tiana's Bayou Adventure Ride POV. He is determined to shame Disney for their stupidity, for this embarrassing ride. And that's the best thing I could say right now, because that is more or less what he's thinking right now. So hopefully Disney will learn their lesson, not to spend billions of dollars on a ride that's destined to fail from the beginning. So, shame on you, Disney. Shame on you. Anyway, and I already know I'm going to get a lot of whiplash from that. I already expected that. But also, I wanted to announce that this week you guys are privileged to hear, well, not just hear, but see from me again on Thursday evening. So, last Sunday on Father's Day, my family was out of town. They were out on vacation on the other side of the world, and that's as much as I'm going to say about that. But they just got back in late Wednesday night. Well, for them it was late. For us, it was kind of early. And if that says anything. So, yesterday I decided to take the entire day off from YouTubing. The only time I did not even see my dad yesterday morning was when I went to church to run the video producer switcher thingamajigger, and I did that for both services, and then I turned around and I went back home and hung around the condo a little bit, and then me, my dad, my brother, and Katie all went to Red Robin that afternoon and had lunch. So that was kind of neat, and we came back, and I ended up taking a nap shortly after I watched my brother's slideshow presentation, and I eventually did take a nap. I think I did say that already, and then I got back up and we played a board game, a favorite of ours, and of course I failed again, like I always do, but I don't care because I was having too much fun. And spent a little time with Katie, and then she left. So, honestly, I thought it was a good day overall. It was, nice to spend time with my family, especially my dad, and just be able to do things with him. So, because of the fact that I did not have a vlog yesterday like I normally would, yes, my banner is 100% true. I do upload every single Sunday and Monday. However, though, there are going to be times when I do have to skip doing it on a Sunday because Sundays are family days, and I can't always guarantee I'm going to be able to vlog on Sundays. But Mondays, for 99.9% of the time, are guaranteed. And I'm going to let you guys know before I hit the 10-minute mark, there are going to be weeks when you're going to see more of me than just Sundays, and Mondays are just Mondays, or whatever, or just Sundays, even for that matter. And Sundays and Mondays, I knew were the 2 days of the week that I pretty much was guaranteed to vlog every single week, Tuesday through Saturday. I'm just going to focus on working, Katie, and that's it. And then, of course, one of those days I have to focus on the guinea pig as well. I have a guinea pig that now lives upstairs because he is no longer allowed to live at my fiance's place. But at least I don't have to go over there and worry about him because now I just have to come back home and worry about him. So I guess that's a good thing in some ways because I'm able to give him a little more attention. So, like, for example, my in-laws are coming back into town late July, and I've been, planning for their arrival for quite some time now. Now, they're not the biggest fans of me YouTubing, but they do allow it. And because they're coming back into town, it gives me more of an opportunity to vlog. Like, for example, they're going to be staying at a motel that my aunt and uncle stayed at a couple of years ago. And I've been really wanting to see this motel in person for myself. So, not just see it, excuse me, but like stay there. So, I have been honored the privilege of staying with them while they're here in Northern Kentucky late next month. So, I'm really looking forward to that and doing whatever we're going to be doing with them. All the details are up in the air, but do expect more vlogs out of me while they are here. And of course, I have some other surprises coming up over the next month. Alright, well, I normally don't do this, but I am going to pause this because I'm going to have some water, and then we're going to get started. Alright, so I have officially downed an entire water bottle. This was full not even 30 seconds to a minute ago, so yeah, I was thirsty. Alright, let's get going. So, just picture this. It's Sunday, December 4th, 2016. I had just gotten done with church that morning, and I don't remember if TJ went with me to church that morning or not. So we had stopped, at racetrack as we normally do. For those of you who do not know, I used to go to this gas station called Racetrack for years and years and years. I know this is unnecessary, but I literally got used to it so much that with their rewards program, I somehow went from the bottom tier all the way to the top tier before I moved away, believe it or not. I didn't ever think it was possible, but I made it happen. That's pretty bad, but we stopped and eventually got to the parking garage, and we always used to have this debate on whether we're going to end up in the right parking garage or the left parking garage. I hate the left parking garage because 9 times out of 10 when you're leaving, and it ends up dumping you on the road behind Universal and Volcano Bay for that matter. And neither TJ or I like that road very much. So we always like the right parking garage. For one thing, it's smaller. And for another thing, it's easier to get out of the parking garage. And then you just take Universal Boulevard pretty much out of there. And then you actually get to go past the Lowe's resorts and the Aventura. You get to go past Volcano Bay on your way out of there. And I don't remember where we parked, offhand at this point, but, that's irrelevant at this point. So I just figured that, I'd just do that for fun. So we're just walking down the moving sidewalks towards City Walk. And I said to TJ, what'd be really cool is if I started YouTubing. And I said to TJ, do you think I should? Now, TJ, for those of you who do not know, he's usually pretty agreeable. Usually. I wouldn't say always, but the more he hangs around me, the more agreeable he seems to be. And I would say on an overall basis, he's usually pretty agreeable with me. And he's just like, whatever you want to do. I mean, at the time, TJ never considered it. And, I'm thinking to myself, I've never YouTubed. I don't know what I'm doing, to be honest. And I'm like, okay. And I just pulled out my Android that I had at the time, and I started recording. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know anything about the pause button. I didn't know nothing. And the very first thing that came to my mind was, let's imitate the Tim Tracker. Why not? For those of you who ever watched my older YouTube videos from like 8 years ago, for like a year, I literally imitated the Tim Tracker. You would think that I was just being a copycat of him, and I honestly was, because I had not developed my own style yet. At this point, obviously I'm my own person, I'm my own YouTuber, I have my own style. I always start my YouTube videos the same way. I always end my YouTube videos the same way. I have my own style whenever I'm vlogging. And I just didn't have that back then. I mean, no lie, I didn't. So, we're walking towards the entrance, and I put my phone away at some point to use my ticket to get myself in, or my pass, I should say. I had just gotten a pass earlier that year, like one of those annual passes, and I went to start recording again, and I was like, "Uh-oh, what happened to it?" And I didn't want to delete it, so I was like, it's fine. So I started a brand new clip, and I didn't know what I was doing. I finally figured out the pause button, and there was one point when I had just gone off the mummy ride. How my phone managed to stay on the pause button the entire time while I was in the ride locker, while I was in the mummy is beyond me. So the whole time, I didn't even know anything about the pause button. I didn't know if there was like a long delay, like people were just sitting there waiting for like 15 minutes. It shows how uneducated I was about it. And that's all I'm thinking about the whole time. Like, I wonder how long everybody's been waiting for. So, I finally got to the ride locker. Surprisingly, the phone was still on that screen. I mean, keep in mind, my phone was draining like crazy because it was on the same screen. And I finally picked it up, and I started recording, and I'm like, I'm sorry if I kept you guys waiting for 15 minutes. And there was no delay at all. I mean, I know now with the pause button, when I pause it, then it literally just stops it where it was last at. Like, if I were to pause it right now, there would be no delay. There, it just immediately transition from one thing to the next. You guys have probably noticed, for those of you who have been watching my YouTube channel for quite some time, that when I press that play button again, I just pick right back up where I left off. Like nothing ever happened, because I know now how the pause button works. And honestly, because I now use an editing software called CapCut, and because it still works for me very well, even if I did accidentally end the clip, I'm like, ah, shoot, I didn't mean to do that. So I just basically go, oh, well, start a brand new clip, and I just roll on like nothing ever happened. I never even mentioned, oh, I was filming a previous clip and I accidentally ended it. I might say that as a joke once in a while, but, overall, I just keep on going. Like, I'll tell you right now, when I'm vlogging at Kings Island, 9 times out of 10, my 10 to 20-minute vlogs are usually anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute long of a clip. And sometimes I don't even continue filming again for another 30 minutes to an hour. There have been times when I've been at Kings Island, and there's a 3-hour gap between clips. But when I stitch them all together, it becomes one continuous flow. It's great. And it works. And, one thing I have done a lot better over the years, and when I first became a YouTuber, obviously, I didn't have a Facebook page for the YouTube channel. I've actually had the Facebook page for a few years now. So, like, one thing I'm doing now that I wasn't even doing, let's say, a couple of months ago, is I'm publishing all of my upcoming vlogs way in advance, but only I can see it. And then I'm publishing them to basically post to the public on my Facebook page at 8 a.m. the day that I film it. And the reason for that is because most people are usually either starting to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning, or have already been awake, or are still asleep. It's either one of the three. And since most of my vlogs are usually on Sundays or Mondays, and some are later on in the week, I figured that I would just go ahead and, just post most of my upcoming vlog posts at 8 a.m. on Sundays or Mondays, and then just when people are able to get over to my Facebook page at some point that day, they can go, "Oh, the Theme Park Evangelist posted again. Wonder what he had to say." And this works better because if something were to change for some reason and I can vlog that day, or I'm not able to vlog what I wanted to vlog originally, I can just go back and change it. So I kind of like that better in some ways. And the public doesn't know, and you have no idea how irritating it was for me to have to go back and tell everybody, "Oops, change of plans. I have to change this vlog around because this is happening or this is happening." It became a frustration to everybody. It became a frustration to me. This is actually working a lot better. But anyway, enough about the present. So, I mean, for now, that is. So, shortly after that very first vlog, I did start using the phone for quite a few vlogs, but I knew after a while that the the phone was only going to do so much justice. And it was ironic that my 5-year anniversary of Publix was in not July, April of 2017. I think that's where I was getting myself confused. And I don't mention this in my Facebook post where I kind of posted this to let everybody know this is what I'm going to be talking about. Of course, you have to scroll back a long ways. And especially if how much I post on a daily basis, it's getting harder. So, to find the original post. But, because I'm doing this chapter by chapter. But anyway, so, I had, got pulled into the office a couple months prior to April 24th to be specific. And they allowed me to pick out my 5-year anniversary gift. I didn't even know I had one. The timing of starting my YouTube channel and getting my camera, or celebrating my 5-year anniversary of Publix, was just too coincidental. So, I'm like, well, I could use a camera. It would actually be a really good idea. So, I went ahead and I asked for the camera, and they ordered it for me, and they had it delivered to the store, and they gave it to me at work one day, and I started using it on my YouTube channel for quite some time. Now I'm going to share this with you guys because, I want to. That camera was excellent until one day when I decided to be funny with it. I was walking through Epcot. I was actually over by the China Pavilion, and thank God Mulan was not out doing her meet and greet, because I would have been so much trouble with Disney. Anyway, so I was trying to be funny with the camera. I was trying to be funny with TJ and K. K is another close friend of mine. For those of you who do not know, you have to go back and watch my earlier YouTube series called How I Met K and K and T, or TJ and K, whatever. And I literally take the camera and I pretend to throw it, but I must have thrown it so hard that I was standing there holding onto the strap and the camera went flying. Now, it would have been even funnier if I'd been recording, because then you would have seen the screen tumbling around. And I literally just stood there, my jaw dropped to the ground, like, what just happened? And they just started laughing at me so hard, like, what did you do? I mean, they were watching the entire time, like, Like, really? I ended up throwing away the strap. They said, hey, at least you didn't throw it in the lake. And I said, yeah, that is a good thing. Because that camera would have been a goner. So then we did something really stupid, if that wasn't stupid enough. And we went out looking for the camera in this area. Disney never said a word to us. I don't know how we got away with it. So we eventually got it back, and I ended up using the camcorder without this strap for quite some time. And one day, I decided that the camera was just not working out for me. For those of you who do remember my old YouTube channel days, my camera honestly was a piece of crap. I mean, I hate to say it, it really was. And I'm trying to film. It wasn't that great at night. It had terrible lighting. It had no light on it, no external light on it whatsoever. It was cheaply made. I had a hard time keeping my hands steady on it. So one day we went out to where TJ currently lives now, and we went all the way up to the end of the lake. And, once again, I'm stupid, and I take the camera and I threw it out in the lake, and I said, go ahead, go eat it, gators. And for all I know, the gator might have pooped it out like a week later. But once again, that was years ago, and I was an idiot. Kind of still am an idiot, but yeah, I did that kind of thing back then. And I ended up resorting back to filming with my phones pretty much every single year since I've started my YouTube channel. I have been using newer and newer phones. I've always been looking for different ways to improve the video quality of my YouTube channel. So far, the nicest phone I've used to film with to this date has been the iPhone 11 Pro Max, and I cannot complain about it. It has been a blessing, and I've really enjoyed just having it. But at the end of the day, just looking back, you can safely say that you always have a beginning. I mean, look back at the Tim Tracker's older videos, and you can safely say even he had a poor start at some point. Everybody starts somewhere. Simon Wilson even said it himself that he started his YouTube channel with just his phone. And now he uses all kinds of cool equipment. He has all kinds of different phones, or he doesn't just use his phone. He uses all kinds of cool cameras. He uses GoPros, everything. I mean, everybody has to start somewhere. And one of these days I would like to go out and get a fancy camera again. I've been very happy with the iPhone 11 Pro. It's been working wonders for me, and I'm planning on continuing to use it for quite some time. But I will say this right now: if I had a final conclusion to this vlog, it would be I loved the quantity of my old YouTube channel days because of the fact that I always had quantity. I always had content coming onto my YouTube channel every single week. And it wasn't just 2 days a week, like, okay, like right now, alright, it's Sunday and Monday, this is it, until, next Sunday and Monday, and then we'll have to start all over again. Like, I can tell you right now, the only way I'm going to be able to vlog next Sunday is if I find some time in the evening or whatever, but that's not guaranteed. Because next Sunday is a good friend of mine's college graduation, and Katie insists that I go to support her, so she took the day off just for her. And then the following Sunday, I'm finally returning to Kings Island to vlog Gazelle Bubbles at Kings Island for its final day. If you hung around this long, then you already know what my surprise is. if you hung around this long. But yeah, back then I just always had so much to show on my YouTube channel. I was posting up to 4 to 5 days a week at a time, but my camera quality was either too shaky, it was too dark, like it is dark right now, like, because today is an overcast kind of day, so you probably have noticed that it gets bright, then it gets dark, it gets bright, and it gets dark. There's not a lot of lighting in this condo, I'll tell you that right now, so there's not much I can do about that, but, I do what I can. And I have done a lot better over the years, but back then, oh man, I was horrible. So, I wish I could give you guys better quantity. I wish I could vlog at Disney World more often. I wish I could fly down to Florida once a month like TJ and K demand. I wish I could afford to go and do all kinds of cool things at Kings Island. But I also know I can't get married by doing that either. And if you guys don't know, Katie, my fiance, is deeply in love with me. And, aside from my love and commitment to God for the rest of my life, being there for Katie is way up there. And I can't think of anything, more important other than God than marrying Katie and taking care of her for the rest of my life. And that's pretty much all there is to it. And, there's a lot of people that love me out there. I have a lot of friends that love me. My parents love me. My brother loves me. I have people down in Florida that love me. See what I mean? It's getting bright again. But there is no human being that I love more than Katie. And I made that very clear in my How I Met Katie YouTube series. And I feel like Katie feels the same way about me too. It's a different kind of love. It's a love that is hard to explain. It's a love that honestly cannot be explained. You just have to take the person's word for it. And I wish TJK and Vanita would work on that. But unfortunately, one thing I have learned about TJ since I first started YouTubing with him 8 years ago, he's still the same person that I met back in late 2015. He still is going to Disney and Universal and Legoland and SeaWorld on a weekly basis. He's still going out to eat with Kay every single week. He still has no major plans in life. He only works when he has to. He doesn't always try to do overtime. Sometimes he does. And he doesn't have a lot of bills either, if it comes down to it either. And he spends most of his time doing Uber. So, everybody is different. But I'm right now working at the airport at Chick-fil-A, putting in the crazy hours that I'm doing right now, because I cannot wait until Saturday, August 2nd, 2025, when I stand in front of Katie and I tell her, I do. I want to be with you for the rest of my life. And you know what? TJK and Vanita may not be supportive still, even by that point, even when I change my my relationship status on Facebook, my personal one, to married. They may not even change their minds when they see the wedding ring on her finger. And they may not ever show Katie the amount of respect I want them to, even after we get married. But at the end of the day, I went from being a single 23-year-old YouTuber, 24-year-old YouTuber, to eventually being a married YouTuber. And I think that's another crazy thing, and eventually that is something you guys are going to learn is, you know, when later on in my YouTube series, you are going to learn how Katie coming into my life has changed my YouTube channel completely. You will learn. I know that Tim Tracker started his YouTube channel off married. Not every YouTuber has that privilege. And I think that's what's been hardest for TJ to swallow is I started this YouTube channel in my early 20s. Here I am 30. I'm engaged. And my YouTube channel is pretty much revolved around work and Katie now. And I wouldn't have said that years ago. There's no way. So anyway, I do have one more vlog for you guys today, and that is another How I Met Vanita YouTube series. And that is going to be it for me today, and then I'll see you guys on Thursday evening. So always remember, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Have a great day. Peace out.